All right, for today's BotBots review, we're going to be taking a look at a Series 3 BotBot. This is AVOCANDO or AVOCANDO, maybe. Turns into a little avocado here. So obviously, avocando sounds more like the object that it turns into, but usually their names are like jokes or puns in some way. So I can't see why adding an extra N to that word would be really fitting within their naming conventions. So I would think maybe it's supposed to be Ava can do, like having a can do attitude. I'm not really sure. That's how I'm going to refer to this one because I'm not really sure what they were going for there. But yeah, turns into a little avocado and is, of course, part of the Fresh Squeezes, a new team that was added in Series 3 that turns into a bunch of fruit and some vegetables. But avocados actually are technically considered fruit, in case you didn't know. But yeah, it's an okay avocado mode. It's got a nice sort of texture to it, but it has kind of these like awkward seams to it, just because the whole thing is just these two plastic shells with most of the robot on the inside, and they're kind of like a softer, thinner plastic, so it doesn't totally like sit totally perfectly. And then they have these holes here, which kind of break up the look because like you can't really look at the avocado from any angle without seeing one of those holes. It's on like all four points here, I guess. But so it's it's passable. It definitely gets the job done, but definitely not perfect. There's just some like awkwardness about it. But yeah, to transform this guy, you kind of just split the shell here, and you have to be a little bit careful with it for reasons that I'll explain. But you split the shell open, and then it's on these ball joints on the back here, and you have to like very yeah. So that's generally what happens is you have to kind of carefully like pull those ball joints off to the side because they're sort of like on it's either on hinges or on double ball joints, but it's much tighter on the connection to the body than it is on the connection to the halves because again like these pieces are such soft plastic that the ball just sitting in the socket there has just stretched it out over time. Like you can see it's kind of warped. And it's resulted in these being like really loose, and it's kind of hard to transform this guy without those sort of falling off, which is pretty annoying. But yeah. And then the feet here on the bottom are the next annoying part of this transformation because they're just really stuck in there. Like you have to get your fingernail on them, and then at this point they get like really kind of stuck, and it's like just another one of those ones where it's like it's kind of painful to get off, and then especially with these halves it's like it's easier to just like take them off so you don't even worry about it. You just have to hurt your fingernails and kind of wiggle them back and forth until you get the feet out, and that is way tighter than it needs to be. And then of course you can put the shells back on if they came off. And then the arms here, they do slide outwards like they're on these little extension things so you can make it look worse. Cool. But yeah, there you have Ava Can Do in their robot mode, and it's an okay robot mode. I don't really get the point of extending the arms because like truthfully, if they just left them in, like I think that actually looks better. But overall, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of the case where like this is a huge shell former, and the entire robot is inside these two stupid halves, which like don't even really stay on. So like it's not great. I mean, I do like the detail here of having the little pot belly made out of the pit of the avocado or whatever it's called, but yeah, it's okay. I'm not a fan of like the literally the entire alt mode being just like these two halves, you know. At least with like ones like the Apple guy, he had like the little worm tail sticking out, or just something. And at least like him having wings made sense. Whereas like this one is just like, it doesn't really do it for me. It kind of makes him a little bit, sometimes hard to stand to. Like he's not too bad, but sometimes it can be kind of annoying. Um, Articulation wise, the arms can rotate regardless of whether you extend them out or not, and that's pretty much it. I mean, these are on ball joints, but they can't really reasonably hold any positions, and if you bring them up too much, then like the center of gravity on this guy is like way in the back here. So I don't know. It's very predicated on these shells being in places. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I'd say robot mode for me probably gets a 2 out of 5 just because like the shells are really annoying. They kind of get in the way, and it just doesn't really work all that right. Alt mode probably gets a 3 out of 5. It's good enough. It's average. It's not. There's nothing really too wrong with it aside from like a few nitpicks. But mostly, I'm giving it kind of a hard rap just because like it's not that interesting an object and like not that difficult to like make a transformer that turns into such a simple shape. And they decided to do it just by having two halves of a big shell. Kind of lazy to me. I don't know if it, if nothing was really clever to produce that shape. So I'm a little bit, but it still passes. It's still good enough. You definitely can tell what it is. So 3 out of 5 is good for that. And then transformation, I'm gonna give a straight up 1 out of 5. Like it's annoying on two different levels. Like these pieces just falling off is annoying, and it's just like speaks to kind of poor build quality on this guy. And then the legs are like really a pain to get off. Like even if these pieces weren't a problem, like that would be so annoying, and it legitimately like hurts me every time I have to pull the legs out. So yeah, not a great bot. That is overall going to give AVOCANDO an overall score of 6 out of 15, which makes them a 1-star bot. Really not one of my favorites. This is like it's kind of cute. I like the idea of the pit being the pot belly, but otherwise, in execution, in practice, this one just really doesn't work for me. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do BotBots reviews on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then other reviews on Sundays. And if you have any BotBots you want me to review, leave it in the comments. I only have a few left that I actually have before we start running low for these reviews. So odds are I've probably already done it or don't have it. But sure, either way, just leave it in the comments and I'll let you know the status of that. But either way, here we have BotBots Series 3 AVOCANDO.